Hello and welcome back to Calgunner TV. I'm Cal, a gunner who likes talking about Arsenal and football in general. And today I wanted to make a video about Manchester United and a general video about Manchester United. What's the problem? Why are they in the place that they are right now? And for me personally, this is a much more complicated issue that people are making it out to be. And I really just want to kind of make some analogies and go into what the problems are and what do I think needs to happen. And before I get into it, please hit a like as it helps support the channel, and please subscribe if you want to see more. Now, in speaking about Manchester United, a term that goes around everywhere is that they need open heart surgery. And it's a term that, Terry from the Football Terrace that he used, and I think a lot of Manchester United fans use that as well. And that's because of how many problems that they have. Manchester United fans know that the club has a lot of problems because for the last, 13 years since Sir Alex Ferguson left, they haven't won a league title, and they've not only not really won a league title, they haven't really been in any real title races, and they've seen the slow deterioration of their club. And it doesn't really matter what they're doing right now, it doesn't matter which manager they have, it doesn't matter what players they have, it all kind of just goes bad. And, you know, in this recent spell where United have basically, they're in close to relegation form last season. At the end of last season, they finished 15th, which is an extremely, extremely terrible low. The teams that they're losing to right now and the fashions that they're losing to, despite getting rid of Ten Hag, getting Amorim, who won in the Portuguese league, the fact that they got rid of a lot of their problem players, and they're seeing those problem players succeed at other clubs like Rashford. He did well at Aston Villa, and he's doing well at Barcelona right now. The likes of Anthony, who's doing well, and McTominay, who won the league with Napoli and got Ballon d'Or nominations. So they're clearing out the dead wood, and things are still not happening despite getting extremely good players that a lot of clubs wanted, like Cunha and Mboma and Sesko. So it's just a problem. And right now, Amarim isn't performing well, and he should probably be sacked because his winning rate is the lowest of any manager post World War II for Manchester United, and that's just not good enough. And I personally don't think he has the mentality to kind of do like I don't think he has a mentality to win at United because with like playing being a manager for United, playing at United, it's just a weight that a lot of people just can't handle. And there's a lot of United fans that think, if they sack this manager and they get, Oliver Glasner or someone else, that all their problems are going to be magically fixed. And I think that's pretty naive. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they will probably get a new manager bounce and then things will start to slip away. And to be honest, as I made that open heart surgery comment at the start of the video to kind of push back against that because I don't think it's open heart surgery for Manchester United. I think they need an actual diagnosis because the thing with open heart surgery means that if you need open heart surgery, that means the doctors identified the problem, and the only thing that's stopping you from fixing all your problems is money and time. Maybe if you get put on a waiting list for surgery, and if it's urgent, you bump ahead of that waiting list. And I don't think it's as simple. This is not a money problem for Manchester United. I don't think you can just spend money and fix the problem. I think it's more deep seated. I think it's almost like mental illness, or they don't know if it's mental illness or not. So for me, for example, just to keep the analogy, it'll be like if you have a problem and you start exercising more, and you start going to the gym, you start taking your vitamins, you start eating healthier, you start meeting more with friends and all this sort of stuff. I think you get a boost, but unless you actually go and see a doctor and find out what the problems are, you're going to slip. It's going to come back up. It's like trauma. It's going to come back up. And Manchester United right now, I don't think anyone can honestly say that they understand what the issue is. You don't know what the underlying issue is. And unless you address that issue, you're just not going to solve the problem. Like, I really don't care what manager Manchester United get. I don't care what players they get. If they don't find out what the problem is, it's not going to be fixed because it's deeper than the manager and it's deeper than the players. The easiest fix would be if, the Glazers sold the club and you get in someone else and they fired everyone from top to bottom and you restart. But I don't think that's a realistic problem. I don't think that's realistic. I think first things first, I think you'd have to get rid of Amarim. But I don't think you just get rid of Amarim. I think you get rid of whoever hired Amarim. Whoever decided that Amarim was the guy, he needs to be sacked. I think your sporting director needs to be sacked as well. Whoever he is. I'm not a Manchester United fan. I don't know the names of your board directors and all these guys, but whoever hired Amarim needs to be sacked. I think your sporting director needs to be sacked, and I think a lot of the people who were in charge of the footballing decisions of the club, they need to go. Like almost all of them. And I think it starts with the sporting director and the manager. I think the club needs a clear direction as to where they're going next, and who's ever in charge, he has to be a dictator. Who's ever in charge, whoever the sporting director is, just has to have control. He has to have control of who the manager is. He's not going to be the coach, but he needs to select the manager and he needs to point the club in a clear direction because there are too many conflicting ideas at the football club. There are too many things that just don't align. And spending more money on getting a manager and spending more money on getting players isn't going to fix the problem. I almost think that even before you select a new sporting director, I would have him, or I would almost get almost someone to just come into the club and do like almost like an audit, like go and investigate the day-to-day operations of the football club, investigate what happens in the board meetings, investigate what's going on. And that's if the club actually wants to change. That's if they actually want to start winning again. In order for Manchester United to actually start winning, I think the people who are in charge, the owners, need to identify that there is a deep problem. Because if they don't think there's a deep problem and it's simply just a manager issue, then Manchester United is actually doomed and nothing's going to change. And yeah, that's what I think of it. So I think there needs to be someone who comes in. I don't know who comes in, does some sort of assessment of the club, the day-to-day operations, assesses what happens in the board meetings, assesses what happens in terms of why there's so many problems. He comes to conclusion, decisions are made, people are sacked, and a guy comes in with a clear direction that is actually knowledgeable of football, and he takes the club in one direction. Because right now that is clearly not happening at Manchester United, and it's going to take time. And the unfortunate thing for about Manchester United is that I don't think the fan base has the patience to probably deal with this, to be honest with you. I don't think they can deal with 3 to 4 years of maybe being a little shit and building the club up from scratch and then challenging for titles. I'm not sure if they're capable of that. But to be honest with you, I think they kind of have to because if this continues, you're just going to be sacking more managers and sacking more players because you have a new batch of players, new manager still not working, and just you're not going to find someone to plug and play. I'm sorry, Oliver Glasner isn't going to come into Manchester United and fix it. Javi isn't going to fix it. Areola isn't going to fix it. I don't think so. I think if a manager comes into Manchester United right now, they will be they will not be able to make the decisions that they want to make. And I don't and I yeah, yeah, I don't think I don't think it's a good idea. I think the sporting director definitely needs to be sacked, whoever he is. I'm telling you, whoever hired Amarim or decided to hire Amarim needs to not be in charge because that clearly was the wrong decision because they didn't even trust Amarim's system to be implemented in the youth team, which is a problem. That tells me that the club is getting pushed in different directions. But anyway, That's just how I feel about the football club. It's a big it's a big problem, and if you don't go out there and try to get the diagnosis, you're not going to understand what the underlying issues are, and this is just going to keep happening again and again and again and again and again. But anyway, that's my opinion of it. If you want to like the video, please like it, and if you want to subscribe, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.